The day we went over the Ida Range, we were supposed to be heading over the hill to Haast and continue up the west coast. But due to the bad weather coming in and pending road closures, we decided to stay on the eastern side and spend an extra night in Alexandra and drive Thompson's Gorge Road.
How's driver assist getting on with all these corrugates?
I'm fine.
Our change of plan left us with a day to kill in Methven, so decided to go for a drive to revisit the old Avoca Homestead on Broken River. Our route takes us from Methven up the Rakaia to Lake Coleridge, then north to Lake Linden on the West Coast Road, which we follow as far as Cass before turning east to follow the West Coast Rail line down the Craigieburn Road to Avoca. I've travelled the Lake Linden Road many times and I don't ever remember seeing so much traffic before, so I hope there isn't a problem on the Porters Pass diverting traffic down through Lake Coleridge. It's been 18 years since we last drove into the Avoca Homestead in much better weather, so I'm interested to see what condition it's in now. At Cass we turned onto the Craigieburn Road and followed the West Coast Railway line up the valley.
Good old coal train.
Did I mention there was a few gates to open?
I'll get the gates on the way back.
This is a tad disappointing. After opening a bazillion gates, only to find the road has been closed off. The road used to follow the railway line for a bit before dropping into the valley, passing under Slovens Creek Viaduct, dropping into Broken River, opposite the old Avoca Homestead. No one was keen to hang around in the rain next to the railway line for lunch, so I suggested we headed back up the road to Lake Horden, about 10 gates away. Lake Horden is a bit like a crater lake perched up on the side of Mount St Bernard. The track leads up a greasy slope from the road, but with 33-inch mud terrains on the Defender, the traction control didn't even kick in on the way up, even with 40 psi on the tyres. Got to the top of the mudslide and I couldn't see Alan's smiling little face in the rear vision mirror. Did a quick U-turn and headed back across the muddy top track, but he was just taking his time, probably trying not to get fender too dirty. So where were we? Oh yeah, lunch. If you look closely at the surface of the lake, you can see the wind streaking across the surface, leaving white lines. Yep, not a nice warm sheltered spot, I can tell you. Actually, I don't even remember this spot ever being calm or warm, to be honest. After lunch, Fender was having some fun sliding sideways across the access track. The D300s are equipped with basic mud and snow tyres, which are excellent on highways and loose metal roads, but not so good on greasy soft clay. The Land-Rover invention of hill descent control works to keep the vehicle in a straight line in low traction situations, where a vehicle on road tyres can toboggan out of control in situations like this, but of course with superior Land Rover technology, no dramas were had.
You got your foot on the brake? Because you shouldn't.
Brake, she's just come all down now. At all, there's just on its own.
Yeah, which is interesting because your brake lights were on.
You got ABS or?
Yeah, it's got ABS and traction control.
Yeah.
This is a Defender SE. Wait till you see the video. There was a lot going on.
This was actually a really good opportunity to push some buttons and test out the various configurations in the new Defender. But in all situations with four-wheel drives, you need to allow the vehicle to work by applying suitable amounts of accelerator. After playtime, we hit the road again, and another gate. Back on State Highway 73, we retraced our steps to Lake Linden and back down to Coleridge and onto the Rakaia Gorge. On the southern side of the Rakaia Gorge, Ellen suggested we check out the road which follows the river inland. As chance would have it, we'd be travelling down the same road again, only 5 weeks later, but this time in our White Discovery, under very different weather conditions, as well as very different driving conditions. But that's all to come, so stay tuned to Kev's 110. Honestly, after over 2 weeks of concentrated off-road driving, I was feeling a tad knackered, so I was happy when Alan pulled over and asked if he wanted to head back to the pub. Today we're heading straight through to Blenheim. Ellen and Rob were up and off early, and we wouldn't see Ellen again until the ferry crossing tomorrow, all going well. Nothing to report really on the way through. Stopped off for lunch at St Ains Lagoon near Cheviot, which is also a traditional stop-off point for Maori, on their way south due to the abundance of eels in the area. And of course we had to stop off for second lunch at Cooper's Catch in Kaikoura for a fresh fish burger again. You have to try them, man, they're really good. We stayed the night in Blenheim and looked like they had some significant rain as the Opoa River was quite high. Heading north now to Picton to catch the ferry across Cook Strait and to set our clocks forward by 20 years. The virus I mentioned in episode 1 that was infecting the Wellington Harbour, attacking the gearboxes of large vessels, was still at work, and our entry to the harbour was delayed by the Singapore vessel Shilling, losing power for the 3rd time as it attempted to leave the harbour, so we had to do a loop in the harbour entrance. I was up on deck to see the Shilling being towed back into the harbour when a pod of dolphins attempted a ram raid on the ferry boat. This was new. A red and white striped cart arrived on the deck carrying freshly made scones with cream and jam. Nothing to report in our 8-hour 630km drive home from Wellington, and we arrived about 11:30 PM on Saturday night. So that's my story of our trip to Wanaka for the Land-Rover 75th birthday. We covered 4,709 kilometres over the 17 days we were away, saw some new places, met some great people, had some great meals and a few bad ones, caught COVID and Methven, and did some damage to my Defender, all up a great time. So thanks to all that we met, travelled with and made this event possible, and thank you for watching.
I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
So the damage report. Dropping the top of the coil out of the chassis mount on the Macaulay and twice on the Ida range was a tad disappointing. I secured the top of the spring using hose clips, but this put extra strain on the coil securing straps at the base of the coils, resulting in them deforming. There are two common remedies for this issue. Either let it drop, but guide it back in using relocation cones, which is what I've done on the rear of the Discovery, or you secure them both top and bottom with suitable size restraints. After some research, I decided to retain the coils top and bottom, and fabricated a heavy-duty bespoke solution that fitted the coils perfectly and held them in place. The other issue was the damage to the front diff housing, also on the Macaulay River. I've damaged these in the past as the front of the diff cover is actually quite a thin plate. Fixing this properly and permanently to prevent it happening again will require disassembly of the entire front end of the vehicle, so I can install one of my 6mm thick bash plate covers I fitted to the front and rear of the Discovery.